Hey everyone, today I've got your Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines movie review. This 2003 film has John Connor living off the grid, trying to avoid anyone coming after him, considering Judgment Day didn't even happen. So what happens next? A new class of Terminator comes along and wants to terminate specific people, like Kate Brewster, who is supposed to be John Connor's future wifey. As far as the story goes, this movie unfortunately is not directed by James Cameron, which is probably why I didn't really enjoy myself watching this as much. And I know a lot of you have heard that I wanted to seriously rant about this movie or talk smack about it because I just did not like this movie. I feel like it is by far the worst of the Terminator franchise, and it just felt so disconnected from the last movie, which is by far the most successful, which is T2 Judgment Day. I just didn't really like where the story was going. It felt really different. It was more Skynet-centric and focusing more on those people who work at Skynet and how it didn't really have a fallout considering what happened to certain objects from the second movie. And now they want to have this like virus or like taking over all of these different computers and this software. So it gets really technical. It gets kind of confusing. I just couldn't really understand half of the stuff that was going on in the plot. So it was just kind of irritating. As far as the casting goes, you've got Nick Stahl, who plays John Connor. He's a little bit older, maybe a little bit wiser, especially since he's trying to be on the run. And he's an adult now, and so he's making his own decisions. But what he doesn't realize is that, you know, the original Terminator is back, and he's actually on his side yet again. But it's like a different type of machine now because the original T-800 got or killed itself basically, and so now you've got Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's returning once again for the third time to sort of aid John Connor and also protect Catherine Brewster. It's kind of nice to see them sort of reuniting again, but it feels a little bit weird, and I feel like sometimes it gets a little bit hokey, and it's just not as fun this time around because it's not all fun and games when you have somebody else sort of like trying to steal the show. You've got Claire Danes, who plays Catherine Brewster. Now, I wouldn't say the casting choice for this was actually, spot on. I didn't really like her acting in this movie because I know she can act. I mean, she was in Homeland, so that's got to count for something, but that's way in the future. But in this movie, it's just not as great to watch, and sometimes she gets a little bit annoying for someone who's trying to be all sort of like fragile, and then as soon as she wields a gun, it's almost laughable, to say the least. I'd say the person that really did try to steal the show was something completely different to this series, and it is a TX, which is like the latest version of Terminator, played by Kristanna Loken. And of course, she's hot. I'm trying to dress up like her with the bun in my hair and everything. So, I wouldn't say she was like a huge inspiration to this movie, but it was really interesting to see how they sort of swapped gender roles here, and they have a female version because the TX is basically manufactured to be all female and not male like the T-800. It's kind of cool to see what she can do, but otherwise I'd say I would have completely left her out, and I feel like she's just this eye candy for the movie and shouldn't be really taken seriously, even though she's kind of a badass with like the arm and the gun turret thing sticking out of her arm. I thought that was kind of cool to see because it was different. The things that I did like about this movie, I felt like the stunts were pretty awesome, even though there weren't that many like big humongous stunts going on in this movie, even though yes, there were some explosions, but the one where Arnold Schwarzenegger is being dangled on this like tow truck thing and Kristanna Loken is driving the thing. So that's the only cool thing about this movie. at least that stands out in my opinion. I just feel like it was slightly improved as far as the special effects go, even though the thing that I disliked about this movie was that the special effects were not as good. And I'd say that you can sort of tell that it was like fakey looking. So overall, Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines was maybe not the best sequel around, especially having to try to top the success of T2, which is by far my favorite Terminator movie of the franchise. And I would recommend checking this out. I mean, I feel like proceed with caution before seeing this movie, because I don't think anybody's going to really truly appreciate it, and because I certainly didn't really do that. Either way, I would give this 3 hearts on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. How does this compare so far to any of the other Terminator movies out there? And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates, come back every week for a Chill Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. And I'll see you guys later. Or should I say, I'll be back.